Welcome to the new channel.
Our passion transforms a community that sees and shares all things new.
The new channel. Hashtag TNC Now.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm Erwin,
And I am Carlo.
and we are streaming live here in McKinley Hill, and you are watching a special episode of
Shots fired!
In today's episode. We have a very special guest. He is a known celebrity host and a fitness guru, and he started his career in hip hop dancing. Pare.
Bro, because I know you like to dance. I bet you like to take your wife out to dancing. Pero he is more known for his episodes, countless sports episodes on Sports Unlimited. Ladies and gentlemen, sa Shots Fired, Mr. Marc Nelson! Malakap naman kayo
Thank you. Thanks so much for having
Thank
me
you
on
so
the show.
much. We appreciate it.
Thank you for guesting with us, Mark. It's
He's
been
our,
an
he's our
honor.
biggest guest to date, bro. Little taller than us, better looking than us.
How much do I owe you guys?
And welcome. Thank you for bracing our new studio. So
Yeah,
you're
it's a
among the
beautiful-
first one.
It's a beautiful studio.
Thank
I
you.
feel very honored to be one of the first people.
I appreciate it.
It's an honor to be here as well, Mark. So to start off, we have a few questions for you, Mark. We have we wanted to know you from the start, Mark.
Okay.
So we know that Carlo has said that you've been doing fitness and everything in Sports Unlimited. But what started it all? What inspires you to do fitness?
Well, I mean, I've always been very much into the outdoors. Growing up, I had the good fortune of being able to spend a lot of time, like out and running around as kids,
Okay.
in Australia, and then growing up in different parts of Africa and the Philippines, and
Mhm.
just being out in nature on weekends most of the time.
Right.
And so it was, I guess, a natural iteration to want to stay in shape. I mean, when you're a kid, you don't really think
Okay.
about it, but as you get older, you're a little bit more concerned about it. And it started actually when I arrived in the Philippines, and I met a dear friend of mine, who's now a dear friend of mine, Joey
Okay.
King, and she had a fitness segment on a morning show, Alas Cinco y Media, way back when.
It was way. I won't even ask the year.
This was circa, I think, 1997. And
Sounds about right. That's
Yeah.
about right.
and she said, "Hey, you know what? I'm doing this fitness segment on this morning show, and I'm doing like the female exercise, but I need someone that can do the eye exercises.
Right.
Okay, would you be interested in doing it?" And at the time, I was just here, like doing a bit of modeling on the side. And I was like, well, at the time, I was like, well, I don't really work out. She's like, oh, but you know how? I was like, I don't know. I totally fake it, but I know what to do at the time because I'd been backpacking around the world for a couple of years. I didn't have the time to really like dedicate time going to the gym, so I ended up doing that for about a year before I keep on dancing.
Mhm.
And when I finally keep on dancing, all of a sudden, I had a lot of free time because we had one day of rehearsal and then one day of the show, and the other 5 days a week I wasn't doing anything. So I was, well, this is the time where I can really start exercising, and so I got a membership at a gym at the nearby house, and then started working out and trying to achieve the level of fitness
Okay.
that I had always wanted.
Interesting. That's a good point. There weren't much gyms around.
Yes.
So what kind of gym was that? I'm just curious.
Well, it was one of the early summer worlds.
Oh,
In yeah, I moved to Cubao to be close to my then girlfriend and also close to the studio at ASCBN. And yeah, so just a short pedicab ride from my apartment, I would get to Ali Mall. There was a swimming pool there.
No way you take a pick.
I would before I moved to Cubao, I was living in Palana and Makati near the cash and carry flood gardens. And I would
Mag-may pick up.
Oh, pedicab take the bus and then take a bus from there to Cubao and walk from Farmers Market to visit my girlfriend. It's on my 3rd Avenue.
If you weren't in with Marc Nelson before, he was taking a pick up.
Picking up by.
Wow.
I never imagined.
Well, no,
That was really good.
it's still very much a struggling model. I came here with a backpack, not expecting anything then, and then just living off, very frugal meats.
Nice. So you mentioned going to the gym, so it seemed like you found a routine. So a specific routine that you do now.
Well, it's changed. It's definitely changed over the years. So I went from doing just heavy weights, and then I got into doing CrossFit for a while. Different sport limited because I was very active and doing all sorts of different sports. The badminton race here. I was doing badminton race for a little while. And I never go into the run there. I got into the Spartan racing and the full riding for a while, which I really enjoyed. But now I have gone back to what works for me at my current age is really hitting the weights, doing resistance training, and I've recently started working with a powerlifting trainer. Myself and one of my brother been working with a powerlifting trainer just to I get stronger without necessarily getting like huge.
Right.
Just working on stuff. Right.
Okay.
So that's right.
Yeah. Since you mentioned age, Mark,
Oh,
so
Right to it.
so since you've been doing routines and exercises for a decade now, any exercise that you've been challenging for you since you're not getting younger.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Well, I think anything that takes protein injury as you age, like the desire is still there, and if you stay in shape, like the strength can still be there. But if you get injured, the recovery time sadly now is a lot shorter. And so I'm have a little bit more careful with some of the activity. I still do all the things that I love, but for instance, like something with board because I lost those knees. It took me, okay, do now if you've not had action for a long time.
so you mentioned you have surgery or something about
But I did a lot of rehab. A lot of rehab.
So these were not torn pieces or
They were stretched and slightly torn MCLs. So not ACLs, but MCL. And so it was out of action probably for 6 months with the first one, maybe 8 months the second one.
Okay. It had happened today.
That's just it. So as we age, I do recommend people to just be more careful about. I mean, I know this is a country, and you guys are a show that's very much based around basketball, and everyone wants to be playing basketball. But if you're taking it really serious competitively, it's so easy for you to twist an ankle or a knee or something. And as we get older,
That's why I remember to section out.
precisely.
But interesting, you mentioned a lot of sports. Sports is one of my favorite those.
Thanks.
Next to
figure out keep that.
Don't
be getting dude.
I'm gonna throw it out there all the time. So how do you get started in sports?
Well, I had actually left Philippines. I decided to leave one dancing and moved to States to get a real job, so to speak. It's like, okay, time to grow up and get a real job. And I worked in Silicon Valley for a little while. And I came back to the Philippines to spend my birthday with my friends. And I just did one dancing, and they put me together with Diane Castillejo, Jackie Castillejo's sister, who was a writer for What's Unlimited, do a dance number together during rehearsal. They just got talking, and they said, "Hey, we know you're back here for vacation for a while. We don't have a male host for the show at the moment, just being guest host. Never really threw a soda sports in the outdoors. Would you like to be guest host while you're here?" I'm like, "Sure, I love the show. We used to always come on up to one dancing." And I was like, "Yeah, I love this." And so I did that for a few weeks, and at the end of it, they're like, "We knew you got a great job waiting for you back in the States, but you worked really well with the show. You worked with Diane. If you wanted to stay, the job was yours."
Right.
And so
Nice.
I
What a
think-
blessing that they set you up with that.
exactly. And I mean, it was yeah, it really meant to be. I made the very difficult decision to then call Boston States and tell them I would not be returning. Well, actually, I had to ask us, "Hey, so I've got this opportunity." He was
it really a difficult decision?
it actually was because my Boston States had offered to become a partner in a tech firm, and basically to
Congratulations.
set up a sister company for the one I was already working for, and basically be the one hiring, running the entire company, and he would be a mentor
That's nice.
and be a shareholder of the companies. So the opportunity to earn and become a millionaire very quickly was right there, and it would take a lot of work, it would be a lot of stress, and it would be that sort of a lifestyle, but the trade-off would be financial.
Right.
Whereas here, it definitely was not financial.
Okay.
I mean, if like when I mentioned to people what I was getting paid for What's Unlimited, they're like, or even for keep dancing beforehand, it was bare bones, but the passion was there. It was something that I truly wanted to do and I love to do. And so it's true what they say, once if you're doing something you love, you don't work a day in your life.
Right.
Millennials, solid guidance.
Right. Right.
Solid guidance.
So going back to sports, Sports Unlimited. You've been doing a lot of sports.
Yes.
During any sports that you're still been doing.
Yes, absolutely. Through the course of doing the show, we would shoot 51 weeks a year. So we would air 51 weeks a year. The only time off would be Holy Week. And I did it for 15 years. So you can imagine I had the good fortune of trying just about every sport on the
Right.
planet.
I bet.
And the ones that stuck with me, with kiteboarding. I remember the first time I saw kiteboarding, we were shooting Australia, and we featured a guy that was doing it, and it was like amazing. And then when it came to the Philippines in the early 2000s in Brock, I had the opportunity to try it, and I just fell in love with the sport.
Right.
Which is another reason why I got wakeboarding. When I busted both my knees, I was like, you know what? Forget the wakeboarding, I need contact with my kiteboarding. And so that the kiteboarding is still one of my passions now. And another passion that I have now is free diving. And that is something that I did just towards the end of Sports Unlimited. We did it on the show, but it was something that I wanted to do, and so I took a course. I knew I was going to Hawaii for a trip, and I wanted to free dive with sharks with a certain out there.
You're so casual saying free diving with sharks.
Isn't that
Yeah.
scary?
No, I love sharks.
Oh wow.
I absolutely love sharks.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Kind of don't know how to react.
I'll jump in the water with anything. Just a few months ago, I was diving with orcas, and sperm whales. So it's great fun, and it's something that I get very, very passionate about because for me it is the fastest way of reaching a Zen state, like you would in deep meditation. Just being underwater and perfectly at peace, and only hearing the crackle on top of the ocean, and doing it all on one breath without having like tanks and all the rest of it. It's It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Wow. So
Will you play with the sharks, my friend?
I don't know. No. No.
I think in eyes of shark we are tastier.
No, it depends on the shark. The majority of sharks, especially any you would encounter in the Philippines, are more afraid of you than you are of them.
Did they say that they are terrible? Is it true?
It depends on the shark. And really honest, there's only a few species that are considered dangerous to humans.
Right.
And even those are treated with respect. They're not on meant. They're not their part of their regular diet. And also, unless you're talking about really big great walks and giant tigers or
Sure.
you are the sea size or sometimes bigger than both the sharks are going to encounter. And no one's going to tell on, that you are not there.
So you've been doing posts in sports. Yes, I know that. Any favorite guests that you featured?
Well, we didn't. Most of the time it was just my co-host Dan Castillo and I on Sports Unlimited, and occasionally we would have guests. But more than often than not, we would feature athletes.
Right.
Sure.
But I guess seeing as he's here in the room with us right now, Mr. Manny Pagano.
There you go.
He was an absolute character. I mean, we were fortunate enough to follow him around and feature him and cover him during his absolute heyday.
It was a big fight feature, I think.
There were pre-fight features. We would travel with him to the States to fight in Vegas.
Wow.
Like the Pacquiao Morales fights and everything. I remember like trying
It
to.
was a big fight during.
Oh yeah, it was huge. I remember trying to like run with him around track at UNLV, and he'd say, "Oh, game day, you're gonna go for it." And when he decided to like put on the gas, there is no catching him. He is so fast, and he would have to. His trainers would say you have to hire different pacers just to keep with him, like professional runners.
And what they say about sparring partners also. The sparring partner dapat nakas din.
Yeah, and then they would have to like switch them off because they
get beaten up.
They get beaten.
They get
exhausted. But he's such a fun character. Every time he'd see me, he know that I'm Australian. Mark, Aussie.
That makes sense.
Yeah, his fitness trainer was Australian as well, so we get a kick out of it. But then he also invited us down to Chisan in Bolog, and he's a scuba diver, so we'd go scuba diving with him. So yeah. So yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah, has a character.
Love it. So more than just sports and one of the shows that we really actually amazing with this.
Thank you.
Feeling and ako. I think me and my brother, me and my wife, but I so it was fairly successful for you.
Yes.
So tell me more about what challenges there were difficult. Were the mental challenges?
Honestly, yes. I mean, physically, both Will and I have.
You got in shape. So I would think
we're
that
in decent shape. We're in decent shape, and we have a lot of faith in each other's abilities. But I think our most challenging task on the race, with the exception of the last half that we're also not doing.
Isn't to be but sorry, but
It's okay. It brings that up to him all the time.
Okay.
But it was probably counting money for things. We were in Hong Kong and we were to bank at the 10. They was just full of notes and points. You to get it exactly right, and then like write down the board, go into the next room and show it. And if you got right, and they be a clue. Okay, so team got right on there as well. And we try to okay, for time it's like okay, exact coin measure the 10 cents and pieces of $1 and like measure them up, but then some of the coins be more worn, others so sure and exactly right. Oh my god, that was parents and much that it was extremely the mental aspect of that was tiring. Nice. Yeah.
But aside from sorry, you We should read that. I wrote that. I know when
Okay, you guys get him on the show, you know him all about it. Yeah,
okay, we'll get that opportunity on. Did you survive? We did a Survivor Philippines thing, 102 laps.
you know, I
It's just a bit there was some outback.
yes.
Season so.
So yes and no. I would love to do challenges of Survivor,
Okay.
but I really not the political aspect of like the being able having to be friends and backstab and all of that. It is not me. It's not my personality. In main race, you are very much yourself. What do you actually get under a very stressful environment, and so you can't pretend to be someone else. And so I'm very comfortable natural being who I am, which is who you see on Sport Unlimited, on Beach, on the shows, and that's who you saw on the Amazing Race. But in Survivor, I realized in order to be successful, you need to play the game. And playing the game of being your authentic self and basically my first screwing people over is not part of who I am.
Yeah.
And so that part of it I would find objectionable. As far as being the challenges of like being on a deserted island and having to survive, I would love that. Where I just have to go and survive on an
Okay.
island. I'm
Okay.
down.
So you're okay to eat worms.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
We're kind of thinking eat the testicles of the bull.
sure. Absolutely.
Pero tira, yeah.
If I have to,
Is it wrong saying testicle? Was that?
is
But
that, is that
correct.
symptom 5? Is that what that is involved? Or I don't know.
We need to do some research.
Yeah.
But I think physically you will do a good job.
Yeah, the one thing that I can't eat, and only because I'm allergic, is seafood.
Oh,
For somebody who does deep diving.
Exactly. I don't eat anything that can swim better than I can.
Really? Oh, that's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
But I think
Interesting.
in Survivor, I think I'll be voted out first.
Why?
Immediately.
Why?
I don't know. Like this dude is slow. I could do maybe
Well,
carrying challenges maybe.
well, no, that they may actually keep you in because you might have been
I'm slow.
slow. Like, oh yeah, he's not much competition because he looks slow, and then like no, at the end you
Speed up.
yeah,
When,
that's the
when
way
you,
you.
Speaking of beach, any you made show beach, right?
Beach,
Beach,
yeah.
yeah, beach.
love that show.
Yes.
Man, I love that show.
I
Excellent.
know you guys just watch it, my co-hosts. All right,
No, not at
I
all.
understand.
It just be you. That's the one. Excellent.
Any
Patience.
favorite beach? That you-
Any oh, I get asked this question all the time, and it's so difficult to answer because it really depends on what your interests are.
Mhm.
Like if you're looking
Okay,
for just
sure.
a beautiful, beach like for the family where kids can go and swim and it's safe and there's no time and everything, then the beach alone. Whereas if you're looking for a sense of community, like really good community that's very involved in taking care of the environment and having a nice sort of thing, then Surigao and El Nido are very difficult to eat. If you are interested in things like water sports, if you want scuba diving, then Camiguin is great around the Dumaguete area. Apo, of course, Tupata is out of this world. If you like free diving, then Coron or scuba diving, obviously for the wrecks and everything. So for me, I have different favorite beaches or different reasons. And that's why I always ask now the question like, well, what do you think? And then be able to tell you which one.
So this is what are you looking for? Let me know that.
I'm looking for the
Oh wow.
yes. So different reasons like a different places. I was in El Nido and doing a motor like between El Nido and Sebastopol motor run. There was great quality. The island were amazing. Free diving like I go to Ron kiteboarding, I go to Boracay or I might go do Pud. They have the guy running around. Yeah, it really depends. Depends on mood.
So, Mark, we have discussed a lot of the sports activities, the shows, traveling. I'm interested more on your advocacy. So, what have you been outside of those?
Uh, well, I've got a few advocacies. I guess a couple of the more well-known ones is WWF, which is
Okay.
used to be known as the World Wildlife, now is called the World Fund for Nature. And that's very much got to do with the environment. That's something I'm passionate about, having for many
Okay.
years, and not just talking the talk, but also walk the walk and trying to encourage other people to do the same, because we only have one planet, and the planet doesn't need us. We need the planet, so we need to take care of that. And in line with that, I've actually got another show apart from each on Metro Channel called Sustainable Living, where we really try and I guess encourage our people to live sort of a lifestyle. And then on top of that, there's also World Vision,
Okay.
which has to deal mainly with sponsoring children education, and I've been sponsoring 15 kids now for over a decade and a half. And then also I'm their ambassador for disaster relief and management. So whenever there's a typhoon or anything like that, then we go out there and try and help put up child-friendly spaces or district relief goods and help out. So those are two of my main advocacies. And of course, I love animals, so also very much involved in both Philippines and Ocean Project, the rescue um, uh, dogs, cats, and other actual animals from basically being on the street and trying to get them adopted out. So those are the main ones. And then during the pandemic, I realized the need for more people to get involved in the mental health space. And so
That's very important.
yeah. So I took the time to get a certification in coding.
Okay.
And I'm actually currently, so I finished that an NP certification, and I'm also taking a different certification that's on the horizon. Let's say, so I'm better equipped to try and help people that need help.
This is amazing. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
What about the most impressive is I think for to be better at what you do. Yeah, that's amazing. Certification is amazing.
Well, I think that's something that in life everyone should try and do. They should try and be the best they can be, the best example of a human being they can be. And so rather than resting any laurels, is got to constantly moving forward, evolving, and being a better contributor to society. So in my personal, this is how I see myself moving forward, in just being a better leading the planet a little better than was
In the mental health space.
Yeah.
We're still not comfortable talking about too
Yeah.
much.
Yes, I'm sadly here, as you mentioned for off camp, that here in the Philippines it's a bit of a taboo subject, especially in men. There's still a little bit of that chismo and
Yeah.
yeah. But there's that definite need because so many people go through such difficult periods of their life, and if they're reading out help, trying to deal with internally and keep it, like press back, and they don't have that sounding board or someone to help them through it or realize that it is okay to be vulnerable. And it's really siphoning themselves and their own growth, their own progressions. So, I mean, to all of the viewers out there, I just want to say, please, if you are going through anything, don't be afraid to reach out. Reach out to friends, reach out to family, reach out to a professional. And for those of you out there that think that maybe one of your friends are going through something, then please approach them. Let them know that it's okay, that you're there, that there's someone willing to listen, because sometimes we don't know what's going through a friend's, like internal headspace.
Yeah, very true. Because there are some stories that in front they're okay,
Parang
but
ang saya nila,
inside,
no?
inside they're not.
Yes, exactly.
So,
But good stuff, no? But again, more than the sports though, these are the amazing stuff. We've met him for the past 2 hours since lunch, and we've learned a lot of stuff where can your fans follow you? Where can they learn more about your advocacy that you do?
I guess platform that I'm most active on is Instagram. So just follow me at Marc Nelson, MacNelson, and I post everything there, and then that just gets out to the other platforms. That's where people are able to reach me to get the most response from. And that's where you will get a slice of my life.
Nice.
But guys, palakpakan natin si sobrang galing. This was an exciting episode. When you messaged me a few weeks back, like, hey, Marc Nelson will be in the show, I tried to do as much setup as I could, but and then I gave up on 20.
Yeah.
But thank you so much
Thank you,
for
Mark.
being
Guys,
here.
thank you so much for having me. An absolute pleasure. And I really like that you've got a platform where you can talk about a little bit of anything, everything.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark, for raising in our studio, and we hope to, get us soon. Again,
Most of our staff are here today.
yes.
Sila silang absent, but for today, I think we have good attendance. Thank you so much for coming to work. Natatawa kayo, may kayo nakita.
Yes.
Pag mga recording na ginawa. But anyway, thank you so much. Again, like and subscribe to Inspired TNC. Follow Marc Nelson. So thank you so much. See you next for our next episode. Have a good day, guys.
Bye. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Appreciate so much, man.
Okay.
Ang 40D, tumutulong patibayin ng vital organs, iwas sakit sa puso at iba pang sakit.
Ang ubo, mabilis lumala, kaya dapat agapan. Dapat New Solmux Advanced Syrup. May 2 times zinc para ang ubo, imbis na lumala, tulungang mabilis mawala. New Solmux Advanced Syrup.
Unilab yan.